Good morning. Welcome to Tartar Spider. I'm Terry, and today, some 10's and a 1. As you may or may not be able to see, I have a new setup, so we're hoping we can do this without too much confusion to ourselves. But today's video, some 10's and a 1. Mark Campbell wrote the book, The Complete Guide to Doctor Who. He reviews all the stories and gives them a score of 1 through 10. There are more 10's than you'd think and fewer 1's. But this list only goes through the Snowmen, as this is the most current edition of the book. This is why most of my lists end with the Matt Smith era. But let's make do and review some 10's and a 1. There are two 10's in the William Hartnell era: An Unearthly Child and the Dalek Master Plan. Now, everything about An Unearthly Child, especially the pilot episode, is a 10, and I would rate this one of the best episodes ever. Sadly, the Dalek Master Plan is missing, so I can't even talk about it. But there are two 10's in the William Hartnell era. Now, the Patrick Troughton era also has two 10's, The Mind Robber and Fury from the Deep. And alas, we have the same problem. The Mind Robber is very good and a very unique story, while the Fury from the Deep is missing. So there are two stories that are 10's in the Troughton era and two in the Hartnell era. Now from there, Jon Pertwee. But Jon Pertwee begins the golden era of Doctor Who in many minds. In fact, with 6 stories out of 24 being 10's, he is the best Doctor in percentage. 25% of his stories are 10's. Those stories would include Inferno, with its dual worlds; The Curse of Paladon, a story so good it rated a sequel; The Carnival of Monsters, the Doctor's first trip with control of the TARDIS in this regeneration; The Green Death, with Boss the Computer, the Giant Maggots, and Joe Grant leaving us; The Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Sadly, some of the worst special effects, but a very, very good story behind them. And Planet of the Spiders, Jon Pertwee's finale, a tribute to his era, and a long-running chase sequence throughout the entire story. These are the 10's for the Jon Pertwee era. There are 10 10's in the Tom Baker era. 24% of his stories rate a 10, and those stories would include The Ark in Space with its bubble wrap monster; The Brain of Morbius, Doctor Who's Frankenstein story; The Seeds of Doom, from the South Pole back to England, a plant is trying to take over the world; The Deadly Assassin, we visit Gallifrey, and it's the end of the Master's regeneration cycle; The Robots of Death, a murder mystery aboard a Art Deco sand miner; The Horror of Fang Rocks, dark and eerie, this is good; The Reboss Operation, the Doctor will have a Time Lord as a traveling companion, and this will start the Key to Time story; The Androids of Tara, Count Grendel is the greatest swordsman in all of Tara, but is he the greatest swordsman in all of time? The City of Death, a strike at ITV made this the highest rated Doctor Who story ever, and it deserves it. With its location shooting in Paris and its fun story, this definitely is a 10 to many people. Logopolis, the Watcher is watching, and the Doctor knows who he is and what he is up to. Now this ends the Tom Baker era. That's the 10's we'll cover today. But now, what about a 1? Now in this book, there are only 3 1's. And the first would be Boomtown, from the Christopher Eccleston series. So enjoy Doctor Who, enjoy Boomtown if you do, and keep watching. This is October, and I will continue my Halloween-themed recommendations. Now, this month I'm going to recommend the classic Universal monsters. Bela Lugosi as Dracula, Boris Karloff as the Monster, Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman, Boris Karloff again as the Mummy. Enjoy these movies. They are all available on the Roku sites Theater of Monsters, Halloween Horror Films, Classic Horror for Free, Boris Karloff Films, Bela Lugosi Films, and many other sites. Streaming television is a great source for classic monster movies. So enjoy the classic Universal monsters and enjoy Doctor Who. Good night, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.